Welcome to the Moyne Way Podcast, where we explore the people, ideas, and everyday moments that shape life here at Moyne College, told through authentic stories, open conversations, and the spirit that makes this community one of purpose and belonging. Thanks for joining us this week on the Moyne Way Podcast. We have the one and only Leslie Streissguth.
Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come sit with me.
No, always.
Yes.
Always.
Thank you. I want to start with what originally brought you to Moyne and, what made it feel like the right place for you.
Oh, okay. So there's two things. It's a long story, which I will try to shorten. In its essence, my husband and I were living in the Washington, D.C. metro area. Mm-hmm. And we started having kids, and I was pregnant with our second child, and we looked at each other, and I was teaching full-time. He was writing books and working part-time at Towson University, and we're like, this is not sustainable. So we said, all right, I'm going to find a job teaching full-time somewhere, and it came down to Newberry, South Carolina.
Oh, wow.
Or Syracuse, New York. And I was like, I've never been to Syracuse, but I know I'm not going to Newberry, South Carolina, right? Like, I looked on a map at the time, and, like, there was a Walmart, and that's it. And nothing against Walmart, but I need a little bit more. So we move up to Syracuse, and my husband starts teaching here at Moyne. And so for a while there, I was home. We ended up having 3 kids. I was home with the kids, doing community engagement, all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, they needed somebody to teach public speaking. And my undergraduate degree was in rhetoric and communication. So I'm like, Mike, my husband, says, you know what, Leslie can teach that class. Wow. So like with 2 weeks, I prepared, and God bless that first class I had. We had a good time, but I was figuring it out. I was building the staircase as the semester went forward. But what I found was that the philosophy of the Jesuit education, the ideology behind Jesuit education completely meshed with my own philosophy that maybe I didn't even know I had. It sort of took working here and being here long enough to absorb what Jesuit education is to realize that I was in a good place. And then the way that Moyne is and the way that I am, it was kind of a blend, and I built relationships and tried things, and Moyne always has supported me. So I'm still here.
Wow. I'm interested to know, did you have a passion for public speaking prior to teaching it?
No.
Or
I guess that's not really a fair question. Like, I was the senior speaker at my high school graduation. Right. That should have I wanted to be on camera and in television. I was never afraid of the stage. I was in drama, drama and jazz. So I guess it wasn't that I was drawn to it, but I wasn't afraid of it.
I got you. And did it, when you started teaching, did you start to have a newfound appreciation for it through the teaching aspect of it?
Yes, and I determined pretty early on that I wanted students to, if they could, to the degree that they could, feel safe and comfortable standing in front of a group of people talking about something. So my class is all about community and building a safe space, listening to each other. And I didn't mention this, but I was a middle school teacher, so whenever anybody gets out of line, the middle school teacher in me comes out, and I'm like, no. So that I think that people feel like I can talk about things in front of this class, and it's going to be okay. And over 20 years, I've just sort of, it's become sort of a honed part of my life that I walk into that classroom, and I see what's going on that day, check in with the people there, tend the community, but also just really enjoy what students are talking about.
That's good. And it's funny because I saw that you used to be a middle school teacher. I'm interested to know how was the shift from working with those younger students to college students? Was there
I was just so grateful to come to the college because I am a normally sort of funny person. I like to joke around. With middle school students, you cannot give them a millimeter. You gotta be like, and believe it or not, I was not the mean teacher, but people didn't mess around in my class. And I think that's hard for people to imagine here, because once I got here, I was like, oh my gosh, I can be my total self. And these students are going to be like, oh, that's fun, and then be able to come back. Whereas middle school students are like, ha, 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 and then it's chaos. So you have to be like measured with middle school students. It was a freedom when I came here. I was like, well, this is great.
Yeah, that's good. And you mentioned safe space. Like, what does that look like in the classroom of cultivating a safe space, and how can that also translate to outside of the classroom?
Oh, I keep hoping that it keeps translating. But what that looks like in the classroom is I talk a lot about listening and being present and being here. You know, a lot of professors don't like electronics in the classroom, but I really don't want them. When someone's giving a speech, if you're on your phone, basically what you're saying is, I'm not interested in what you're saying.
Very true.
And you're not allowed to do that in that class. You know, that's not a space where I want that to happen. Now, does that mean that, you know, there's absolutely no phone usage in my class? Probably not, you know, because I'm not like a millipede with 1,000 eyes or whatever those creatures are that have a lot of eyes. Anyhow, so safe is that you're going to be listened to, that people are going to then afterwards, I really encourage a Q&A after every speech so that students get this affirmation of not only were people listening to me, they want to know more about it. So I foster that kind of that sense of family, like here we are, we're on the ship, we're trying to figure out how we can be better at talking in front of people, and at every turn, I'm trying to sort of build bridges between all the people in that class. And I don't know if they realize I'm doing it, but I'm working really hard to make that happen. And I think generally it does.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And what do you see like being some of like the biggest things that come up that block students from really like stepping into, you know, speaking in front of people, or just, I'll use, you know, being open? You know, what are those things that you see?
Sure. Yeah. I think being vulnerable, like putting yourself up there, you're standing there up by yourself talking about whatever. That's a really vulnerable place to put yourself. And so I think people are nervous about how will I remember what to talk about? You know, how do I manage, just very practically, how do I manage, like, here are my notes, and here's what I want to say, but how do I bring that all together without, like, writing out the speech and just reading it to people? You know, I mean, there's a balance, and they do 5 speeches in the class. So by the time the semester is over, I'm hoping that they feel like, okay, I have a better understanding of me standing in front of a group of people. Like, I can do this. Maybe I don't like it, but I don't hate it anymore. Or I always thought it was okay, but now I feel like I have a stronger understanding of what I need to do when I'm standing in front of a group of people.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Give them some power over over that responsibility that comes up in front of you as a college student and beyond.
That's good. And you've been teaching since 2004 here?
Yeah.
Wow. Like, what has been some of the changes that you've seen, you know, over the course of your career here at Le Moyne, and some things that really have stuck out to you? Okay,
this is really funny, but the first thing that popped into my head when I first started teaching here, everybody wore SU swag. And I was like, really? What's up with that? And I will say, over time, I see more Le Moyne swag than anything else. So what does that say to me? Over the 20 years I've been here, people are like, there's more school pride, there's more feeling of, hey, I'm at a place that I like being, and I'm gonna wear it. So that's very superficial, but I think it actually shows something deeper. You know, like, people are owning that they're here, they have agency over that. I have seen the whole development of students having a better understanding of their own wellness.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Right? And I really appreciate that they are taking, you know, that they are acknowledging that they do have needs sometimes, that they have to care for themselves. And I, you know, the person I am, I'm going to be like, look, I understand. You need to take care of yourself first, because if you're not ready, then nothing else is going to work. So I've seen that evolve. I think that's probably enough covered. But just this idea of feeling connected to Le Moyne, but then in addition, students feeling connected to themselves, which I think is beautiful.
That is beautiful. And I'm interested to know, how about like a personal change? Like, how have you evolved personally throughout the years, and what are some things that stick out to you about your own growth?
Okay, that's really interesting. I hadn't really ever thought about that. But, okay, so I mentioned that my husband and I have 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, the first time that I taught was when our youngest, went to 3-day nursery school. So he was 4, and I was like, okay, I can go teach while he's at nursery school, and then come back and pick him up and he's none the wiser, right? And then he goes to kindergarten, so they're all in school full time. So then I started teaching 2 sections and this and that and the other. I think what I found over time is sort of this feeling of satisfaction, of pursuing things that are interesting to me. Lemoyne has always, as I said, been supportive of that. I ended up getting a job. They created a job for me in career advising, and through that position, I've really been able to grow and explore some areas that I never would have anticipated. And I think as a person, my husband and I have been married 32 years.
Wow.
Right?
Wow, that's amazing.
I know.
Yeah, I wish I could put the applause sound in the back. Yeah, we'll put that up.
But we talk about it all the time. Yeah. So I think over that time, we've gotten really good at just sort of being a partnership. And now that our kids are grown and out of the house, that partnership that we built, like, since we built it well at the beginning, we're having a lot of fun. And we get together with our kids, and we take trips with our family. It's a good life. So I think over time, I've grown up, and my goals have flourished, and my family's flourished, and it's just been, I feel really blessed.
You talked about career advising. So you help with students like internships and things of that nature?
Everything. So
everything.
And I got certified a few years ago in designing your life, or you can call it life design, through Stanford University. And it's an approach, it's a way of talking to people about what they want to do and kind of giving them tools to figure out better answers for themselves. So our whole team understands that concept, and it really has permeated all of what I do. The practicum courses that I developed are based on life design. I'm teaching that right now and just really loving that class. And so I think, the career advising has grown. In addition, I'm like a rolling stone, like I'm never going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. But the life design lets you be really flexible and gives every student, no matter who, a finance major comes into me, a bio major comes into me, a person who wants to be a vet, a person who wants to be a filmmaker, life design can shape itself around all of those students. So it's really universal.
Is there something that weaves through different majors and departments, that's something that you see like is a pivotal thing that everybody kind of needs for that next step?
Yeah, they need to talk to people.
Really?
It's relationships and asking people what they're doing. I tell students, it's like going to the store and trying on an outfit. Instead of buying the outfit before you even tried it on, why don't you go and go try it on? So instead of saying, I'm going to be a, medical sales specialist. Okay, well, maybe if you talk to somebody who's a medical sales specialist, you're going to find out whether or not that actually fits.
So good.
So instead of buying it, try it on. And so talking to people lets you do that.
That's good. And then what about knowing and figuring out like what you're really good at, and the balance of like obviously like needing money and needing a career, needing something that's has a strong foundation, but also finding something that you enjoy and like you're good at, like what's that balance like?
So that's a really good balance. And at the end of it all, if you are doing something that you like, then the money's going to come. It may take a little longer, but you could be making a ton of money. But if you hate the work you're doing, it's not sustainable. You're going to become miserable. You're going to get stuck. You're not going to get those promotions. You're going to get frustrated. So I say figure out what it is that engages you, that interests you, that keeps you attached
Yeah.
to, tethered to whatever it is you're doing, and then figure out ways that you can do that. Or do work, but make sure you're fulfilling yourself outside of work. Like make sure you're doing something to fulfill the full self, not just like your work self.
Yeah, that's really good. Like, yeah, sometimes it's like the job fuels, the things that you're
Yeah,
passionate about.
exactly. So don't think jobs and being engaged are really important. But if, for a while that job is giving you the money that you need, but it's not necessarily fulfilling, make sure you're doing stuff outside of work that does fulfill you.
That's so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't become bitter.
Don't become bitter.
Don't become bitter, yeah.
Frustration does nobody any good.
It never does. And I had a really, really, really important question that I wanted to ask
Oh,
that
here we
I'm
go.
trying to remember. And
Oh,
I was like,
shoot.
my mind is like, just go to the next thing. But I'm like, nah, this was something that was good. Oh, so with careers, how often do you see students come to you and you realize that what they want to do is based off of what other people have told them to do or other people's perceptions and not actually what they want to do?
So interestingly enough, I think that's backing off a little bit. But there are a lot of people who come in, or they think, I'm majoring in psychology, so I have to be a psychologist.
Ooh, have
or
to be.
Or I literally had a student yesterday sit down and meet with me and said, well, what majors are going to get me what job? And I think so it's like 50-50, right? And I always say, major in something that engages you. You never know, because then you're going to do well. Opportunities are going to unfold in front of you. Like things are going to happen for you. And when you get to the point that you want to get a job, that's the next process in figuring out what engages you. Now, if you want to be an accountant, I'm sorry, you got to go take some accounting classes, right?
Yeah,
if you want to be a nuclear physicist, then you're going to have to take those physics classes. But, I mean, someone can be a history major. Okay, one of our daughters was a history major, and now she's a VP at a bank.
Wow.
You wouldn't put those two together,
Right.
but she was in clubs, she did extracurriculars, all kinds of things that built her leadership skills. And the bank was like, we're not so worried whether or not you can analyze a stock report right now. We just know that you can lead people.
Wow.
So, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's not an if-then, it's whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes me wonder, like, I feel like even the skills that you can learn in something like public speaking can help you translate into, like, the work field and career and figuring out what you want to do. Like, those skills, I feel like, can kind of transcend different boundaries for a lot of students.
No, if you can organize your thoughts in a succinct way to deliver them to other people in a way that's clear and has, chunks of information that are clearly laid out, you are in good shape. And that goes for writing as well. I mean, I teach public speaking, but I can't say enough for how writing is encouraged here at Le Moyne. Because no matter what you go into, if you can write and if you can express yourself verbally, you're going to be in so much better shape.
Wow. Well, and I'm also, speaking about communication, is there, like, something that you've seen as, like a universal truth about communication that over the years you've seen, like, yeah, this is something that is kind of universal. It's something that we all have.
We all have something we want to say, and if we can figure out how to do that, if we can be given some tools that let what we want to say out, then we're going to be happy people.
Very true. And then you talked also about listening. I feel like that is a very, very overlooked part of communication, is learning how to really, like, listen to people. And especially students. I think, when you're young and you're eager, you want to learn and stuff, it's very easy to talk a lot. It's very easy to have that, like, you're running around trying to figure things out. But from what I've learned, and this is just from mentors who have taught me, the moment I shut my mouth and I really started to listen to people, that's when I started to learn the most. And it really helped me to grow and evolve into where I feel like I am today. Speak on listening a little bit and how that transcends, like, out the classroom as well.
So it's so funny you said that, because there's a a news sort of, I don't know, she's sort of a pundit, I guess, Celeste Headley. And she has this great YouTube TED Talk, 10 Ways to Have a Good Conversation.
I gotta watch that.
Have you watched it?
No, I've never watched it.
You
I said
should.
I got to. Yeah,
You
I got
really
to.
should.
I
Do you
will.
But one of the things she says is, she quotes somebody else, and it says, if your mouth is open, you're not learning. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
And there's truth to that. So literally at every turn, I am reminding students. I go into somebody else's class and I do an activity with them, and I stop them and I say, okay, let's talk about something that maybe you hadn't thought of, and that is, I'm about to ask you to have a conversation with somebody, but this is not just you talking to somebody. This is also you being present and hearing what they're saying, and maybe even responding and giving that affirmation that, oh, I heard what you said, and I want to know more, or this is what I think, and here's some feedback. So I think that listening is not something that we actually talk about, but if people can get better at it, as you said, they're going to learn more, they're going to become richer, have a richer life.
Yeah, and I think it's what causes so much just disconnect in the world. I mean, it's very hard to even comprehend somebody else's perspective or way of life if you're not willing to listen to them.
No, you have to suspend judgment, and it's hard.
Yeah.
And you have to just be there and not sort of run. I do a listening test with students, and they are shocked at how much they fail the test. And it's really
a listening test.
a listening test.
How does that work?
It asks super ridiculous questions, but
Okay.
it points out the gaps that we have in our listening. Like, okay, I'll give you a little teaser. One of the questions is, how many animals did Moses take on the ark?
Are you asking me?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I mean, how many animals did Moses take on the ark? I know it was 2 of every animal.
Was it?
I don't know.
How many animals did Moses take on
Oh,
the
wow.
ark?
Yeah, he didn't.
Right?
It's
He
Noah's
has
ark.
an ark.
Yeah,
but
that's wild. Yeah, that's wild.
So see, your brain was like, boom, ark. Yeah, to
Jump right to
survive
Noah.
the flood waters, blah, blah,
That's so
blah,
good.
right? We weren't even talking about Noah.
That's wild.
So I think that points out to people, well, wait a second, my brain was filling in some stuff that it didn't need to fill in. So if we can just turn ourselves off enough to actually hear, a lot of stuff can happen.
Dang. Right after me talking about how I learned listening, I over here talking about some Noah, man. Oh, man, okay.
Well, don't worry, everybody, we all mess that up, right?
Yeah.
Because I think our brains they're working so much faster than anything
They
else.
are. And we got to just, we don't need to allow our brain to make us rush everything. It's
That's
just
it.
take a breath.
That's
it's okay.
That's it.
You don't have to, yeah, that's really good. Okay, now we're going to move into the rapid fire questions. This is what we end every podcast with. So these are just quick
I'm
fire.
ready.
Yeah, boom. Your first question is coffee or tea?
Coffee.
How do you like it? I want to know that.
Straight, nothing in it.
Black. Same. Let's go. Well, I've actually switched over to decaf because I want to kind of lean off of caffeine.
I understand that. I absolutely need the
But
caffeine.
sometimes I'll do it. But black, I agree with you on that. Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Okay. Favorite spot on campus?
Okay. The archway that looks over the athletic field, but also lets you get that amazing view that it goes between Gruen and the science building. It's open air. Downstairs is the tunnel that has all those people on the wall, but the floor above is an open arcade.
Okay.
And you can just look out over.
Are we talking about the 5th floor?
No.
Or am I bugging?
Okay, how am I not describing it? Okay.
It's outside.
It's outside, and it's curved, and there's a brick over it.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly. It's over right next to where it says Gruen. It's to the left.
Yeah. Left of Gruen.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
that's nice. Oh, that's
you just look, and sometimes you get to see the dramatic cloud cover. Somebody might be on the field. You hear all their screaming and teamwork.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's.
I'm gonna go over there today because
You
I
just
haven't been
stand there,
in a
and you're
minute.
like, "This is a beautiful thing right
Yeah.
here."
That's beautiful. What's a book, podcast, or show you'd recommend to students?
Okay, this is old, but I really enjoyed it. It's called Dolly Saves America.
It's a book.
It's a podcast that talks about Dolly Parton. I know, it sounds weird, but I really liked it.
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who Dolly Parton is?
Nah, I'm not going to lie, I don't.
And
okay. You're great at singing.
She's got the big hair.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know that was her name, but I know that song.
No, but it's just an interesting exploration of life.
That's good. That's good. Who or what inspires you most right now?
I think the pursuit of goodness.
Wow. That's a beautiful
Like,
answer.
just be a good person. That's what inspires me.
If you could instantly learn one new skill, what would it be? Anything. Instantly.
Throwing a baseball.
Why that?
Because I don't want to go in the details. This is quick response. So
Okay,
there,
I got
throwing
you.
a baseball.
Okay, I got you. We're going to leave it there.
We're going to leave it there. I can throw
man,
a
that's
football,
funny.
but...
Okay. Out of everything in the world, I want to learn how to throw a baseball.
Okay, I'm sure there are other things,
No,
but
I got
you asked me quick,
You're right,
so there
you're
it
right.
is.
You're right. I love the honesty. Favorite food spot in or around Syracuse?
Okay, I'm going to go with the Evergreen.
The Evergreen?
The Evergreen down on Hanover Square. Great sandwiches.
I don't know if I've been there.
You might need to go.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I live close to
And
that,
then
too.
now, if you can like a good view, and the food is okay, but it's the view that's amazing. There's this place called Vesper Hills out in the middle of nowhere, but they have this gorgeous sunset over Lake Otisco.
Sounds good. All right, yeah. I'm gonna let you know how it is when I go. One word to describe Lemoyne.
Family.
Family. And if everyone from the Lemoyne community was listening right now, what would you want them to know?
That I love working with them and being with them and journeying with them.
That's good. And I'm gonna add one more because I want your insight on this. If every student was listening right now, what's the best piece of advice you would give to them?
Be curious.
Be curious. That is beautiful. Before we close, we want to give our heartfelt thanks to LCTV for making this podcast possible in the studio space. We also want to thank the Carroll College of Arts and Sciences, the Grace Center for making this possible, and of course, the Put God First Foundation, whose support also helps make this podcast possible. Excuse me, messing up my words. It's okay. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Grace Center and LCTV at the link below so you never miss an episode. We will see you guys next week. Leslie, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, this was great.